Coming up on Mountain News this morning, this weekend marked the start of Kentucky's spring forest and fire season, and that means daytime burning restrictions are now in effect. And Valentine's Day may be over, but skunks are out and about looking for love.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Neely Green here with you on this Monday, February 16th. The time is 6:29, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Duswell for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I'm so excited for those warmer temperatures.
Yeah, me too. I'm so excited. A chance to hit 70 degrees again is crazy, especially this early on in the year. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to some of this fog clearing itself out in the next couple hours. Here's a look at that current visibility that we have across the region. We have that dense fog advisory for our northern counties. And as you can see, we're starting to have that fog develop and get stronger for many folks. So drive carefully if you are heading out on the road and you do encounter any of that fog. Otherwise, though, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. That'll be the trend throughout the day. There's a very slight chance for some pop-up showers as we're heading into the late morning hours, but for the most part we will stay nice and dry. Current temperatures, though, a mixture of the upper 30s and low 40s. Very pleasant for this time of year, as normally we're sitting in the low 30s, so I'll definitely take these nice temperatures to start off the day and the nice temperatures this afternoon as the upper 50s and low 60s settle into the forecast. Neely.
Hundreds of people in Laurel County lost power after a fire truck crashed into a power pole. This happened on Saturday afternoon. You can see that truck flipped over here. 400 customers lost power in the Cold Hill area along Highway 192. Jackson Energy says people on Cold Hill Road, Laurel Canyons, and Canyon View were impacted until they were able to replace the pole. The Laurel County Fire Department says the driver of the truck was taken to the hospital with minor injuries and has since been released. This story is new this morning. Emergency crews in Wayne County responded to a serious crash over the weekend. Firefighters were called to a one-vehicle rollover on Highway 167. Officials say one person was trapped inside the vehicle, another was ejected. Crews worked with Wayne County EMS, the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, and the Monticello Police to free the trapped patient. We're working to learn how those involved are doing this morning. A London man is being charged with sexual abuse because of a report made by a Laurel County school. Court records show London police started investigating Ronnie Lockby last month. The school reported concerns about an incident a student told them happened in December. The Department of Community-Based Services held a forensic interview with the student. Lockby is now in the Laurel County Correctional Center for first-degree sexual abuse with a child under 12 and unlawful transaction with a minor. He's scheduled to be in court tomorrow. A Maryland man who is accused of kidnapping a Kentucky teenager who was missing for more than 2 months was arraigned on charges Friday morning. Christian Delgado was extradited to Kentucky following his arrest in Maryland, where the 13-year-old girl was found in December. She was reported missing in October of last year. Delgado appeared on a video arraignment, and his attorney entered a not guilty plea for him. Delgado is also facing federal charges. Many people in Pike County are voicing concerns after the fiscal court signed an agreement that could mean significant changes to the way solid waste flows through the county. WIMT's Buddy Forbes spoke to some Pike Countyans who have big feelings about a new landfill.
So I don't think Pike County should be a dumping ground.
The Pike County Fiscal Court officially entered into a host agreement with American Land Reserve LLC Tuesday, with the private company, a subsidiary of USA Waste and Recycling, proposing to construct and operate a landfill in the Myra community.
I know our community's against it, and I don't know all about it, and I'm looking to gather more facts about it, but I'm definitely opposes any private-owned landfill coming in here accepting garbage from across our nation.
County officials have claimed if approved by the state, the landfill would provide 50 permanent jobs and save the county money, while also addressing years of concerns about the county's current landfill, which they say will not be viable in the years to come. The proposed private landfill would be open to accepting solid waste not only from within the county, but other counties and states as well, using railways, roadways, and other forms of transportation to bring the waste in. But community members are concerned about the impacts of the new idea, some saying it is, well, garbage.
I live here too, and it don't affect just the Myra, Dorton, Joe Dapsey, Virgie area. It affects the whole county.
Rodney Johnson has lived in Myra his entire life, and the 73-year-old says his neighbors feel blindsided by the agreement since it was not publicly discussed in detail before the county signed the paperwork during a special called meeting last month. Instead, it was unanimously voted through and signed after a lengthy executive session.
Well, people were asking what they can do, and they were feeling doomed about it. I mean, nobody wants that in their area.
That community response led to one commissioner sharing an apology video on social media, saying he was voting to bring in jobs and a sustainable landfill, but did not realize it was a polarizing project. Jones was unable to discuss the agreement this week, but told WYMT there is a lot of misinformation being shared on social media. So he plans to dive into the agreement and the county's reason for accepting during the next fiscal court meeting. Meanwhile, community members have kickstarted a change petition, asking someone to intervene in the agreement.
This landfill, this garbage dump, will destroy us. And I don't know what I can do to help stop it, but whatever I can do, I'm willing to help stop it because we sure don't need it.
Ray Ratliff, who created the petition, encouraged anyone with an interest or concern to attend the next fiscal court meeting to hear what the court has to say and share their thoughts with those elected to represent them.
Everybody might not get to express their opinion, but if they're there in support or opposing it, that's their right. They need to do that.
Hoping to sort through all of the rumors and rubbish. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The fiscal court is hosting a special called meeting this morning during which Judge Executive Ray Jones plans to dive into the agreement with those in attendance. That meeting is set for 10 a.m. in the Pike County Courthouse. This weekend marked the start of Kentucky's spring forest fire season, and that means daytime burning restrictions are now in effect. Under state law, no outdoor burning is allowed between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. through April 30th unless the ground is snow covered. The rule applies to any fire within 150 feet of woods or brush. Fire crews in Anderson County say the restrictions are meant to keep people and property safe, especially as conditions begin to dry out. A group of activists, organizations, and concerned citizens are coming together to join in the fight to end human trafficking in Kentucky. The St. Paul United Methodist Church in Louisville hosted their 5th Stop Human Trafficking conference. Speakers talked about how they're working to close the regulatory gaps they say have opened up as internet and technology have evolved. The 2023 Federal Human Trafficking Report shows that 60% of sex trafficking victims were recruited online, many of them using popular social media platforms. Meanwhile, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children shows a big increase in reports of child sexual exploitation related to artificial intelligence in 2025. Those reports increased from 7,000 in January to more than 440,000 in June. Advocates at the conference say more work needs to be done.
We would be up in arms if children were being killed by vehicles or that they weren't being kept safe in those environments. So why aren't we treating digital environments the same way? Why aren't we prioritizing that?
While the groups mainly talked about work that still needs to be done, they also cited some progress that has already been made, like requiring biometrics such as fingerprints or a picture of a face to access adult websites. It's been 1 year since one of Kentucky's deadliest winter floodings. 2 to 6 inches of rain fell during Valentine's Day weekend. 30 flood warnings and 47 flash flood warnings were issued. At least a dozen river sites had preliminary crests within the top 5 of recorded crests. Pike and Perry counties were hit especially hard by river flooding. In Hazard, the North Fork of Kentucky River crested above 30 feet for the first time in history of WYMT. Across the state, hundreds of roads were closed. thousands lost power and more than 1,000 water rescues were reported. This was the first of 3 federal disasters in Kentucky in 2025 in about a 3-month span. That flood was the first major weather event in many years without Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson on air at WYMT. But our meteorologist says he was very much part of our coverage behind the scenes.
Little known fact, he was the one, like, when I look at my phone and watch, that was him texting us like, hey, we got a report of this, we got a report of that. I've got this camera link for you, I've got this camera link to show, you know, what have you. He was very active in that coverage, very much so, and he is very much missed here. And the first event that we have without him here, without me getting those texts, is really going to hurt.
Meteorologist Eric Dean and Megan Dusmel join Steve Hensley to discuss the flood anniversary and other weather topics tonight on Issues and Answers. It airs at 7 on WYMT. Due to the recent period of frigid weather, Kentucky Power is asking the Public Service Commission for permission to spread out January's fuel adjustment charge to give customers a small break. Which would appear on March bills is set to nearly quadruple. Kentucky's Power wants to spread it out evenly on May, June, and July bills. This would lower the average residential customer's bill by $11 in March. The utility is asking for a decision from the PSC by February 23rd. Well, Valentine's Day may be over, but skunks are out and about looking for love. Wildlife experts say skunk mating season starts each year at the end of January and goes through February. Skunks are more aggressive during mating season time, especially the males. This is the time they'll get underneath your house or shed. If you want to keep them out, start sealing up any openings you have now. You could also see more skunks out on the roads. Skunks don't spray unless they feel threatened. Wildlife rehabilitator Tonya Poindexter says to treat skunks the same as you would a puppy or kitten to avoid being sprayed. She also has some advice for you if your dog gets sprayed.
If your dog does get sprayed or something else, you use Dawn dishwashing liquid, baking soda, and then rinse with peroxide.
Research shows male skunks can travel up to 2.5 miles over the course of the night searching for a mate. They'll start having their babies in April or May.
We're talking a nice start to your day. Temperatures right now in a mixture of the upper 30s and low 40s. It's 42 in Pikeville and Prestonsburg, 45 in Jacksboro, 41 in Somerset. Overall, again, very nice start to your day, and we'll continue that trend even into the afternoon with those high temperatures and a mixture of the mid to upper 50s for our northern counties and the upper 50s and low 60s as you're traveling more towards our southern counties. Again, a very nice day is in store with just a little bit of clouds to start off, and we're kind of looking at partly cloudy skies all throughout the day. Some folks still dealing with some of that fog as you're heading out the door, so keep that in mind as you're going off to the bus stop this morning. Again, temperatures in the low 40s, and by the time we're heading into the afternoon, that's where we'll see a mixture of the mid 50s with mostly sunny skies. Neely.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:42, and still to come on Mountain News this morning. The USA women's hockey team won their quarterfinal match this weekend and will take on Sweden tomorrow in the semifinals.